I'm Dave Brown, founder of HisSpace Ministry. Thank you for joining us for this segment of God's people, feeding God's people.
HisSpace is about God telling His story through you and your passions. And one of your passions is spiritual locker room, but that also involves a deeper dive into people living their lives in a more healthy way, in a more spiritual way, not just the discipline of prayer or sharpening iron, as the scriptures teach us, of men talking together every morning in a locker room, but talk about how God is using you and changing your mind and how you need to minister to people about the whole body.
Yeah. You know, one thing that the spiritual locker room has helped me with the discipline of giving God the first fruits of every day is discipline breeds discipline. And God began speaking with me, you know, if I didn't pronounce it to you or announce it to you that I have a neuromuscular disease called myasthenia gravis, you may not know that, but I do. And it's a very tedious to explain neuromuscular disorder. The neurons in your muscle and the nerves, there's generalized weakness in certain limbs. So if you gave me $1 million to do 10 perfectly formed military style push-ups, I'd have to hand it back to you and not even try. I do push-ups on my knees because of the weakness in my triceps. But I segue from that to this. The discipline of prayer to God every day has taught me that life is to be preserved. You're to live your life the right way. You're to eat the right foods. You're to exercise the right way. You're to exercise regularly. And you're to take care of your health, to elevate the ability to do God's will. And some people say, well, Moses, you know, God didn't call Moses until he was in his 80s, something like that. Doesn't matter how old you are, it's how do you preserve your life. So HisSpace is also going to be a place to come and understand some of the things I've learned through discipline in life. How to eat, how to exercise, and how to live with disabilities. Disabilities that most people would give up on. Because if I don't use the limbs, the weakness in these arms will take over, and I won't have the use of these arms. And I understand that. And I want to help people with disabilities understand how to work out, how to eat. Tammy and I went to a dietitian who looked at our blood work and said, hey, there's certain things that you need to be eating that I always thought was okay. Bread and potatoes, that's man's food. Not for me. Sugar, candy, I love candy. It's not for me. But see, these things that I know, and I made these changes. And I want to share those changes with you through HisSpace. We'll bring some people on to educate you on how your body functions and wants to function, and how you should eat, and how you can sustain this beautiful vessel that God gave you in a way in which you can serve Him with more vigor and more energy.
Yeah,
that'll be a big part of HisSpace as well. We'll call it Mind, Body, and Soul. And I look forward to producing some segments on that with some very influential people that have entered, God has put into our lives to help us with this walk, who have ministries to provide this information for people. And we're going to be a segue to do that.
Yeah. So this is kind of a taking on an entire holistic approach to the person.
Holistic, good word, yeah.
And as we look into mind, body, soul, as you say, but also thinking about the passion projects that you have that are showing their way through HisSpace, but also the actual walk of people. So impacting people from all different angles here. Yeah. God has really grown that in this ministry.
And He's given us a vision, a big vision, a broad vision. And being a pastor, you understand what I'm about to say. He's shown me the vision. He's shown me a studio. He has shown me investors, and He has shown me the ability to grow my passion for His story. And that is to go out there and dig deep, find these stories and produce them. You know, I'm flipping through the TV at night and I can find Shooter on any night. I can find Shawshank Redemption on any night.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to find stories like we're producing on HisSpace on regular TV.
Mm-hmm.
So just come on over to HisSpace.org.
Yeah.
And we'll feed you a little bit.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for this segment, God's People, Feeding God's People. You can follow us on Facebook, HisSpaceMinistries.org. You can follow us on YouTube.
There was a time when I was all alone. I had no one that I could call my own. But then I met the sun. He was the